What is going on, everyone? As I'm currently stuffing myself in papers and homework a lot with college, I'm trying to enjoy my gaming experiences a lot more. It's kind of the best alone time that I get right now. So recently, I've been playing a lot of Legion, but this video is not going to be focusing on Legion. As you can tell by the title, we're going to be doing something a little bit differently. I'm still trying to give a good amount of attention to the up and coming new titles that are coming out in the MMO sphere. So this video is going to be dedicated on providing some information or an in-depth guide, maybe an introduction if you will, for those who are unaware of a new and upcoming title coming to the West eventually called Revelation Online. It has a lot to offer, but these are mostly the reasons on why I'm growing more and more excited for the release of Revelation. Let's take a trip and hopefully you'll find something new that piques your interest about Revelation Online. On top of questing through your character's storyline, 5-man dungeons, 10 different battlegrounds that range anywhere between 10 versus 10, 20 versus 20, and 30 versus 30, along with large, very large cross-server battles, and being able to fight against others in the arena, as well as open world PvP, and the 3 different control styles for your combat. There are some other pretty interesting features that open up the excitement for myself and hopefully some others. If you were a fan of the aerial aspect that Ion had, well, Revelation will have a similar feature allowing for aerial combat, as well as taking it to a little bit more of an extensive feature by having you learn separate abilities for you to use while you're hanging in the air with your wings. I really enjoyed Ion's flying, but I felt like it could have been improved a little bit more and made it a little bit more smooth if it wasn't so reliant on the potions to upkeep your flying time. I would like to, however, show the differences between the ground combat opposed to the aerial combat, because within Revelations, the aerial combat has different abilities that you will have to learn separately to your ground combat moves. But of course, like always, you can just use your wings to fly around and travel, but if you're looking for a nice little change of pace, then maybe you'll want to try out the aerial combat. Player versus environment content has developed well since its early stages, yet it seems like most of the endgame rated content that we see throughout the games nowadays has become pretty standard with not a whole lot of innovation throughout the industry as of late. Now, keeping that in mind, Revelation will pit a group of 10 players against multiple bosses. It's going to present the pretty much norm for how MMOs are set up nowadays, but it's going to allow the player to push the difficulties, meaning that you're going to enjoy harder fights, as it will allow you to do 5 different difficulties throughout all of its dungeons. Along with the solo dungeons, the 5-man dungeons, and the 10-man dungeons, essentially raids pretty much, it seems like the endgame content for PvE is looking pretty bright to say the least, on top of all the other content that it has to deliver. Are you interested in someone that you met in-game? Maybe you feel like you want to take your relationship to the next level and seal that bond that you have by getting married. Revelation allows the player to dive into relationships, where you can go straight from fighting with your soulmate right next to them on the battlefield, going straight to the ceremony of your marriage. There are a good amount of MMOs that actually allow for relationships in their games, but every few years, you get a new one that focuses on something that's almost really essential when it comes to the core of what an MMO is made up of, and that is the community. And this is why I think this feature is so great for this game. The community is the sole purpose of what's driving these MMOs, and having the ability to jump into a relationship could really help with the social interaction within the game. Alright, this is something that I think a lot of people actually look at negatively, but it's usually an answer for the loss of population within games nowadays. The good thing is that Revelation will be releasing with cross-server content, such as large cross-server battles. Now you may be wondering, why do I think this is such a great addition? Well, we all know, sometimes within servers, they just become a little bit less populated at certain times. And with that being the case, allowing for players to interact with other people across servers will definitely help with the community, especially because it's going to be a launch feature, and like I said, it's not going to be a reactive feature from the developers to help cope with the loss of players, and instead it's going to be a launch feature. It's also great because sometimes you meet some people in the real world and you want to play with them, but they're on different servers. So either you gotta make a new character and level them all the way up to max level again, or you're gonna have to pay for a transfer. But now you have to remember something, that not everything is going to be cross-server as for its content, so keep that in mind. If there was one single feature that could instantly gravitate myself towards a game, it would without a doubt be castle sieges. Many games before Revelation have done it, but my favorite was Warhammer Online sieges. I spent countless hours forming warbands to travel across lands in the attempt to take down castles. It was because I enjoyed how it made people work together to form these different types of strategies to beat all of your enemies. Now, I'm not going to say Revelation's castle sieges will be the exact same to how any other game does their castle sieges, but you can expect somewhat of a similar feature to how most of these MMOs do their sieges. Revelation's castles are a bit larger in size than the average castle, I would say, because it's built for the larger scale battles, where it can go up to thousands of different people coming together to fight for their honor, and from what I've seen of all the different gameplay, there are plenty of defensive turrets set up to help combat the attackers. Now, my only issue with this is the sheer size of the battles and the optimization of how the engine will work with it. For people with lower end computers, you may be at a loss with this feature because of how many people can be on a screen at one time. Nonetheless, it is another feature that is very, very interesting and will come with Revelation. Alright, that's gonna do it for me, guys. Let me know what features you are looking forward to in Revelation, and if you're not looking forward to the game coming to the West, then let me know why. That's gonna do it for me. I'll see you guys in the next one. If you guys want to see more Revelation, leave it in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.